Ladies and gentlemen, today this is a historic moment. It's a sad and very challenging day for Credit Suisse, for Switzerland, and for the global financial markets.
This weekend, the financial circles was talking about the end of Credit Suisse. In Switzerland, there is another large bank, the only one that could acquire Credit Suisse. It is UBS, acronym for the Union of Swiss Banks. Everyone was hoping for a good offer from UBS. In fact, he could have solved the matter immediately and thrown a bucket of water on the burning fire. This offer had arrived, not a great one. In fact, only 1 billion euros, not even cash, but in shares. Credit Suisse's share capital is made up of approximately 4 billion shares, so valuing the bank is 1 billion and means valuing the share at 25 cents of a Swiss franc. Friday, at the fixing of the Zurich Stock Exchange, Credit Suisse concluded trading after yet another fall of 8% at 1 franc and 86 cents, or 7.5 times the offer of UBS. Therefore, UBS's offer was inadmissible. The acquisition took place on the night of Sunday, March 19, and UBS bought Credit Suisse with a bailout of 3 billion Swiss francs. For Credit Suisse, this is the end of 167 years of history. The operation is being orchestrated by the Federal Council and the Swiss National Bank, with the central bank guaranteeing the liquidity of the two banks at 200 billion francs. To reduce UBS's risks, the Confederation is also providing a guarantee of 9 billion. For the president of the Confederation, Alain Berset, the acquisition of Credit Suisse by UBS is the best solution to restore confidence in the financial markets. Credit Suisse's stock had ended up in an endless vortex after being targeted for a long time by investors and feeling the effects of the collapse of the Siliconvalleybank. The inaction by the Saudi National Bank, the main shareholder, to proceed with a further capital increase further accelerated the free fall, bringing the stock to historic lows below 2 francs on Friday, March 17. A move necessary to prevent the acquisition decision from being submitted to a vote by UBS shareholders, with the risk of being obstructed. The acquiring bank would have asked the Swiss government for various guarantees and coverage for the costs associated with possible disputes. The forced merger of the two largest Swiss banks to be completed by the end of 2023, if possible, says Credit Suisse in a statement, will bring out a giant in charge of over $5,000 billion of invested assets. The wealth management activities of UBS, already a world leader in the sector, will be further strengthened, with approximately $3.4 trillion in assets under management. From the US Treasury to the European Central Bank, this acquisition was immediately welcomed by those who feared a new flight on the markets, already feverish from the recent bankruptcy of the Silicon Valley Bank in the United States. All great, so all over. The merger with UBS is certainly preferable from a certain point of view in the sense that it is a market operation, but it would have many negative aspects, starting with the antitrust problems because Switzerland would in fact have only one huge bank. Then there are the problems of redundancies. It is clear that the overlapping of these two mega institutions would give rise to problems that, according to the unions, would produce at least 10,000 redundancies. The Swiss government preferred this solution, a market solution rather than nationalization. Many remember the severance pay that bank CEOs received during the 2008 crisis. Again, surely some money will be given away to, say, avoid a huge disaster by putting political and moral responsibilities in second place, dare I say, only postponed. In addition, I personally believe that a monster has been created because a zombie dies called Credit Suisse, but a monster is born called the new UBS. Ask yourself, in the world of too big to fail UBS and the federal government's bailout Credit Suisse, who will be able to handle a similar event that should happen to UBS? The banking crisis that is affecting the West in particular is far from surprising, but why can't we let the banks go bankrupt? It's just plain and simple truth. The banking system has some peculiarities that make it different from any other economic system. If you look at all the economic systems that have followed one another in the last 300 years in every part of the world, they have one thing in common. They are monetary economic systems based on money. This has allowed for an increase in trade, which has helped the economies grow. At the same time, however, within the economic system, money has assumed such a fundamental role that whoever had governance assumed enormous power. It was therefore necessary not to allow politics to grab hold of such power. The risk was enormous, and democracy was at stake. The risk is that if it was precisely politics that governed the currency, totalitarian regimes could be established in that case, as has happened. At the same time, whoever has to manage monetary policy, the governor of the central bank, while not being a politician, must behave like one, and also have the objective of helping his country develop economically without being pressured by the government. The central bank also has control functions over the entire banking system. It is a chaotic system that relies heavily on trust that all banks are doing the right thing. The banks, in fact, money is constantly exchanged among themselves. Therefore, trust becomes a substantial aspect. Now, how can we orient ourselves? On the one hand, we have the so-called catastrophists headed by Nouriel Roubini, and on the other, the big bankers who are trying in every way to reassure the markets. The world has experienced 14 major recessions in the last 150 years, triggered mainly by wars, health emergencies, and banking crisis. In short, the current situation is nothing more than what we have already seen several other times. It is a crisis that will soon be overcome, as it has already happened many other times. Of course, only time will tell us which side the truth is on, but the debt situation in which the whole world finds itself cannot leave us alone.
Well, you've reached the end of the video. If you are interested in learning more about similar topics, here you will find other really interesting videos from the channel. Thanks for watching this video. Click on the like button if you enjoyed it, and do not forget to subscribe in case you didn't. See you on the next one.